Discovery, go at throttle up. Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Or it's good afternoon now. Apologies for being late. It's my fault. So, like timelines and stuff. Yep. Yeah, we have an Artemis 1 update happening very soon. Fellas, just remember, keep calm and coggers on. We got that press conference happening in about 15 minutes. This press conference is going to be updating what NASA's doing with Artemis 1. Hopefully we get some dates for wet dress rehearsal, rollout, stuff like that. Yeah, it's cool that we're getting so many updates from them on this stuff. So let's
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Let's sit down. Let's focus on the space news, and let's go from there. Okay. Let's focus on the space news, shall we? Shall we, boys? Let's do that. That's a good idea.
Discovery, go at throttle.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not playing Hearts of Iron today. We're not gonna do that, and I'm probably not playing Tarkov anytime soon on stream. So let's just get some space going today, and then you know what? Let's play some Kerbal after that. Yeah. You know what? That's what we need today. Let's go get lost in a Kerbal build. Huh? That sounds like fun today. You have the new railroad game. I do have the new railroad game. Let's do planes. What planes we making? Yeah, screw it. Let's build a plane KSP. I'm in. Let's do that. U.S. planes? All right, Endo. Sounds good, man. I wanted you to post this. Ah, yes. I'm not sure if I'm going to take a break today, John. But, is that the Railroads Online game? Yep. Wings Thursday and then MSC. Yeah, I'm not sure about Summer Car. Guys, I'm going to play today's stream by ear, okay? We're going to play it by ear. Despite what you may think, I do have ears. They're right there. See? I know. You don't really ever get to see them. Yeah, maybe Minecraft or something later. I don't know. I think we just need a chill day. Let's go. Let's pick a plane. You know, you have ears? When is the press conference? Hey, Bobber, you know what? I never told you. Dude, your buddy that was racing got 4th, by the way. I watched that whole race, by the way. I haven't remembered to bring it up since. Did you play too much Hearts of Iron yesterday? I don't want to play Hearts of Iron because I haven't been playing Hearts of Iron lately. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I don't think we should do that. Yeah, let's not. So let's go cover that press conference, shall we, man? You know, yeah. All of a sudden, playing Hearts doesn't seem like very fun. It doesn't seem very fun. Hang on. How about we talk about something how to talk about something without talking about something, a masterclass. So yeah, we're waiting on that Artemis press conference here. It should be in about 7 minutes. Have you ever done a playthrough of Factorio? I have, just not on stream. Yeah, there you go, Bobber. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. 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 Okay. I haven't been here in a while. Hey, Ruka. Where did all the people in the background go? They're all working diligently at their desk. Now, in 2022, I just decided to change it up. That's all. No, yes, I haven't. That's terrible, Taradra. Let's all pray for good audio. I just noticed they were missing. No, they're not missing. They're just working at their desks. See? Here, look. Look. See, Jim's still there. See? He's there. He's just working at his desk. Yeah, everybody, yeah, no, I just decided to change it in 2022. I just wanted to switch things up. You know, I mean, maybe eventually I'll redo Mission Control or something. I don't know. Gary was too loud, so everybody left. Yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah, that's what's going on. So this happened today to all the cars. It's a bit loud. Leclerc was definitely having some suspension problems from what I can see. All right, it's a bit loud, so I'm going to mute the stream audio. So if anybody's going to get their ears blown out, it's going to be me. I can't play that on stream, but also I could show chat the picture. We can't play the musico on stream, but here, look at this. I would say they did not get the damper rates correct on that. I'd say they didn't get the damper rates on that. Either that or they decided to put switches in the Ferrari. Wow. Yeah, he's just vibing. No, it's too fast for Sands. It's too slow for Sandstorm. Oh, I know. I know. I know. I know. Why do I have a cowbell? For the same reason that I have a hammer right here. Same reason I have a hammer. The same reason I have an automaton. The same reason I have Jim. It's a nice hammer. This really is. The East Wing hammer. Very nice. Look at this. This is quality, man. Look at this thing. It's a nice hammer. Now, am I a music stream? I think I'm not a music streamer by any means. I think I have a guitar and it makes sounds, but I wouldn't call it music. Yeah, Tazza, you see this thing? Tazza, you see this thing? Look at this thing. This is a nice hammer. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that wood finish. It's dope. Look at this thing. Seriously, it actually is a really nice hammer. It's an East Wing hammers. I needed this when I bought it when I moved into this apartment because I needed to put curtains up and stuff. I needed to nail the things into the wall. And I bought this and I'm like, I was at the hardware store and I'm like, damn, this is a nice hammer. Like, it really is a nice hammer. I mean, like, you know, it's not cheap. It's not cheaply made. There's a reason for that, though. I was serious. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason why. The reason, you can't see it. It's chromed out. Yeah, there we go. There's the reason right there. See that? That's why it's a nice hammer. Hey, nice hammer. Why do I have this near my desk? Because I needed to when I put up the new green screen, I left it here because I wanted to show people how nice of a hammer it is because I'm secretly Hank Hill As I get older, I just become more and more like Hank Hill. Well, I tell you what, boy, that's a dang nice old hammer. This is a quality American product made by Americans, I tell you what. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? Can we play Satisfactory? Maybe, I don't know. You don't have to explain your hammer to us. You're gonna need it today for the chat hide. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sequel. You know what, man? Could do without none of that today, man. But you know everyone's gonna have their damn hot takes about stuff. It's like, oh, thank you. Okay. Railroads with you? I'll think about it, dude. I've been researching curtain rods all morning, feeling my age. Yeah, Tozzle, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Bremo and I went to the furniture store because we bought a new couch at the start of the year. And we walked out of the furniture store after purchasing said couch. And we were both like, yeah, this is great. This is excellent. This is awesome. I'm so happy. And then I kind of just had a little bit of a surreal moment. I'm like, did we just get excited about going to a furniture store and buying a new couch? It's a really nice couch, though. I'll tell you, it's a really nice couch, man. It's a really nice couch. Anyway, how was Contra last night, Taz? I fell asleep, and then I woke up a little bit later, and I kind of wish that I just slept the whole night, but that didn't happen, you know. That's awesome. That's awesome. You weren't buying a couch. You were adopting your butt's new best friend. It's a good way to put that. Never buy a new couch because you need to buy a new TV. Well, okay, S. All right. Here's the thing. It started with buying a new not a new end table, a new side table in the apartment. That's how it started. Hang on. Is the press conference up yet? No, it's not yet. It started with buying a new, not a coffee table, the end table, right? It started with buying a new end table because Bremo needed a place because that's her office now, all right? So we bought a new end table. And then our TV stand was old. It was from my apartment in Florida, so it was really old. So then we bought a TV stand, and I made sure that it matched the end table. And we bought a new TV stand. That's nice, right? That's really nice. And then we scored a recliner that was my aunt gave to us, and I made sure that that contrasted the end table and the TV stand. And now we bought a couch, and I made sure that the couch is a very similar color to the recliner, which contrasts. Yeah, no, dude. Point is, we're already knee deep. Does it do this? Yes. Mm-hmm. Conference is delayed to 2:30. Firebird, hey, 13-137.
Excuse me, this is the operator. Today's conference has been pushed back to 1:30 p.m. Central Time or 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Once again, it has been pushed back an hour. You may continue to hold for the hour, or you may disconnect and call back.
Not interested, MC. Please stay on the line. Your call is very important to us. The next available operator will be ready soon. Yeah, MC, yeah, I got you. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. You know what we could do? We got time! Jump around. Yeah, Hellfish, I don't think that they got the suspension right. I don't think the suspension is do what more good like. Actually, fellas, I could give you some truck updates if you want. I have In other news, I've commandeered our dining room table. It was already commandeered by the 3D printer. I commandeered all of it. I eminent domain my dining table for truck purposes. It has been appropriated for things. Here, all right. I gotta change up the title. Give me 1 second. I don't know if it's really science and technology. We'll just go to just chatting. Nah, you know what? I don't want to go to just chatting because there's a lot of people with hot takes in the just chatting category. So we'll just stick to science and technology. It's science if we're talking about truck parts, right? Yeah, it's good enough. Okay, let's go with Ford F-250 streaming truck update. Then NASA Artemis 1 press conference coverage. Okay, cool. There we go. All right. We could switch away and back when the conference starts to split the VOD. All right, cool. So, well, if that's the case, here, let me show you. I'll be right back. I got to get some parts. Should probably put something down on my desk. But anyway, here, let me give you guys an update as what's going on with the F-250. All right, so I know not a lot of you know about cars, but I'm pretty sure everybody here knows what this is. It's the dingle bob. Hey, I know that. I've broken that part before. So, here's what's going on. I went the other day to mess with the F-250. It's a wheel! Sweet exhaust, bro. Yeah. I went to mess with the F-250 the other day. What I've been trying to do is getting the key to work. So I have a replacement key here because the F-250 didn't come with keys. It didn't come with keys. So I have a replacement key here, and this thing is called a key barrel. If you notice, the key barrel has a little fleeb on the end of it. See that right there? So when you turn the key, it turns the little fleeb. See that? See the fleeb turning? All right, cool. The fleeb, hang on. The fleeb is attached to a couple of different pieces here. So let me just put those two in there. It's important that the fleeb is rubbed because it has all of the fleeb juice. That is a retainer part for another thing. Okay, so check this out. This thing is attached to this thing. All right, it's a gear, but it only has teeth on one side. See that? And if you notice, there's a keyhole in it that matches this. So it goes like that on there. So when you turn it, you turn the gear. Actually, it'll be like this. You turn it, it turns a gear. See that? There is a retainer plate in here for this, and the retainer plate makes sure that when you pull this out, it doesn't take the gear with it. I had to get that out, right? And that goes on here like this, and then when you turn it, it actuates another part. The part that it actuates, now, I have two steering columns here. I think it's important to note. I have two of them here. So I have one that's in pieces, one that I took apart. It's in pieces, see? And then we have one that I haven't touched. This is the one out of the truck. This is the one that made it across the entire country. Okay? So I'm going to put that down. I'm going to put that down for a second. Put that down over there. It still has California dust all over it. All right. Why'd the press conference get moved to 2:30? I'm pretty sure it's because the president is talking, but yeah, I don't know. I'm going to keep talking about truck parts. So, the steering column is in two pieces, okay? Now, it's in two pieces, like if you look right here, see this hole right there? Steering column is in two pieces because they made it two pieces because of some of the trucks have an option for a tilt wheel, so the wheel can go up and down. Okay, and there is a drive shaft with a universal joint that goes through said tilter right there, and this spline right here, see the spline? That's where the steering wheel attaches to. Okay, now this steering column I pulled out of the junkyard. I pulled it off of a junk truck. This one had some problems with it. It was okay except for the steering wheel. Now, if you look real quick, you see that piece right there? See how it's cracked? This steering wheel is basically could do this independently of the column because all of the bushings on here, and you could see that's worn. Look at that thing. See all this crap right here? That's no good. I mean, it's old. This part is 30 years old at this point, right? Nice parts, though. This is all hardened steel. This is really strong stuff. I mean, they usually make steering shafts for cars out of really strong material, so, it doesn't break while you're driving. Yeah. See that? That's all hardened steel. This stuff is really, really strong. Not that hitting it against my hand is, 1990 was 42 years ago. Whoa. Nice shaft. So, this part is still good. It's just the bushing. So, I could rebuild this steering column, but here's how this works. Okay, so that's where the ignition goes, right? This piece goes in here like this, all right? And what it does is attached to the steering shaft, or attached to the steering column is this piece. See this plastic part right here? That plastic part has gear teeth on it. So the steering column's right here. You turn this, it moves this back and forth, and that is attached to a lever right here. See the lever? That adjusts your ignition box. Okay, see that? When you turn the key, it moves the ignition switch into the run position, start position, obviously. Then you have off, and then you have accessory. Now, why am I showing everybody this? Well, see this piece right here? The little dingly plastic piece? That part, come on you. That part is in there somewhere. Well, you can kind of see it in there. Can you guys take a look? Yeah, the teeth are gone. Yeah, the teeth are stripped off. I put this all together inside of the truck, and when I put it all together, I heard a when I would turn the key. So that plastic part, the teeth on that plastic part that's literally in the center of the steering column that you have to take the whole steering column apart to get at, yeah, that's broken. Yeah, that's broken. Yep. So if we want to go and get the key working for Tough Enough, I need to either A, rebuild this steering column. I need to either rebuild this steering column, or B, take that one apart, take the piece out of this and put it in that. This one thing right here. Don't get me wrong. This is... My light's flickering. Stop. Stop flickering. Don't get me wrong. The truck can still run. I could literally start it right now and it has no steering wheel in it. It doesn't affect the operation of the vehicle. What it does affect is being able to use a key to start it. Right now, I mean, it's locked away in my buddy's construction yard, so no one's going to touch it, but somebody knew what they were doing, you could just flip the ignition box on and take the damn thing. I kind of want the key to be there. Now, don't get me wrong. Even if the key's in there, you could technically still do it. These trucks had a really bad problem of, getting stolen. Don't get me wrong. I have other kill switches in the truck. I've told you guys about them, but I'm going to wire new ones. You passed your GED science test this morning. Good job. Why would they put plastic in the heart of all that metal? I don't know. This is aluminum, too, fellas. This is... No, actually, you know what? It might not be. I think this is galvanized steel. You see how it's got like flaky? Oh, no. No, it's I don't know, fellas. What do you think? It looks like aluminum to me. But it also could be galvanized. No, that's aluminum. This is a cast aluminum part. So, it's cast because of the casting lines. See that? Yeah, it's really light. So I'm going to go ahead and guess that this is probably cast aluminum. It looks like it's galvanized, but it's not. It's just the grease that's on there. So now here's the thing. This one has the parts that I need. We could rebuild this, but the reason why I didn't just use this steering column in the first place is because the bushings on the steering shaft were bad. Literally, the steering wheel would do this inside of the truck. It was junk. And I'm pretty sure that's why the truck ended up in the junkyard. Why plastic? Serious question. Because everybody cheaped out on stuff in the 90s, drummer, because my fuel economy. They tried to make parts lighter. Yeah, the auto manufacturers tried to make everything lighter in the 90s, and they're still doing this today, They tried to make it like parts out of plastic, the dashboard's made out of plastic, everything's made out of plastic. Everything's made out of cheap plastic because they tried to make their cars lighter because my fuel economy. When the reality of the situation is you're driving around a freaking heavy-duty truck, you're not going to get good gas mileage. I don't care what anybody says. And it's cheaper to make it out of plastic. So, yeah. It's kind of annoying because it looks like this one might have a tooth missing as well. See it right there? I mean, that's white grease that's getting in the way, but... Yeah, that nick up here is white grease. One of the tooth is... If I could get the stupid camera to focus. Come on, camera. Come on. Yeah, see. I don't know if it's supposed to come like that. Oh, I had it for a second. I don't know if it's supposed to come like that or if that's a chip, but it should still work. Yeah, yeah. They tried to make it lighter because heaven forbid you make the engine more efficient. Well, yeah, there's only so many things you can do to a V8 to make it efficient. They tried making it efficient, Tessa. Remember when Clarkson would always say, like, how did you get such little horsepower out of a V8? Because they tried to make it efficient. Well, not really efficient. What they tried to do is make the damn thing more environmentally friendly, because, that always ends well. So, once again, I could either, A, rebuild this one, get a new bushing. We could get a new bushing for the steering column, and I could rebuild this one, because it has all the parts that I need, and then just swap the steering wheel over. Or B, I could try to rebuild the one that's inside of Tough Enough. It's not inside of it, it's right here. Now, some interesting things. This steering column is a tilter column. That steering column is a fixed column. So, if you notice, you see those two little claws coming from the bottom? These are spring-loaded. And this steering wheel came out of a truck with higher options than that truck, so this steering wheel can actually tilt. That one, Tough Enough, is a work truck, so the steering wheel doesn't tilt. We could retrofit the tilter column to that if we really wanted to. I'm not exactly sure how this goes together. It is spring-loaded, though. You can see the springs working right there. So I got to be kind of careful with that. But yeah, that's where I'm at with Tough Enough. I'm gonna have to. Well, they were trying to curtail emissions, Jim. That's what they were trying to do. But I agree. Plastic is very not sustainable. Plastic is stupid and dumb. I really don't like plastic when it comes to cars. Cars with plastic are less recyclable than cars that are made out of metal. True story. But anyway, your steering wheel do this. Yeah. Yep, that's exactly what happens when that bushing in there fails. Yep. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So what do you guys think I should do? Yeah, if the bushing fails, the steering wheel does this. That's right. Yep, there it is. That's exactly what it was doing when I pulled it out of the junk truck. Yeah, see that? Yep, that is exactly what it's doing. Yep. I mean, don't get me wrong. The bushings were metal. I pulled the bushings out already. They were metal and they were junk. They just wear out over time. Now, I don't have a problem with parts that wear out. Metal parts wear out. That's what happens. Seems to be a third problem. Yeah, I don't know. Or the third option is just literally buy a new steering column. They're $130. You can buy a new one on eBay. It's no problem. And just install that and that'll wish my problems away. But I kind of want to rebuild this stuff. That would be kind of cool, just to see if I can. And I would really like to take the tilter and use the tilter column. The tilter column is cool, man. That'd be a cool option to put in the truck. Are there plans for games today, or will the conference be too long? I don't know what the plans are, Flykin. I'm playing it by ear. Yep. Do both, then you'll have a spare. I mean, Tessa, if I get the bushings and fix the column out of the junkyard truck, and we put this thing back together, yeah. Yeah, I mean, or I could parts this, fix that one. I don't know, dudes. Yeah, I mean, gotta love that new old stock. I'm kind of debating just using the new old stock and putting it back together, but I'm not sure how to do it. Like, I don't know how to get this piece out. If I can get this piece out, then I can take the other wheel apart, no problem. And then maybe I could look into taking the tilter pieces and putting the tilter pieces on Tough Enough's wheel. It looks like it's all interchangeable parts from what I can tell. Yeah, because why wouldn't it be, right? Like, you know, here's the mechanism to actuate the tilt thing. Basically, they push this forward, right? They push this forward. It pushes these levers down like that, and that allows this piece to pivot, and they can lock into different positions right there. See the notches? See the notches right there on the metal? Right here? Seems safe going down the highway. Yeah, I mean, once again, the bushings fail. That happens. Yeah, I'm not sure how to get this piece out. So this piece is on an axle right there. I don't know if you guys can see. It's in a slot piece right there because of the tilt wheel, so the wheel can tilt, right? And it's attached to another plastic piece in there. You see the slot right here? There's a metal dowel that holds this in place, but I couldn't figure out how to get this thing apart last night. See that? I don't know. I don't know how to get that apart. But yeah, I also agree that plastics in the internals of the steering wheel is a really stupid decision. That was really dumb. I'm not going to sit here and say Ford didn't make some questionable decisions in the 90s. I don't know why you'd make this like this. It's really, really counterintuitive. And honestly, this is what I mean about, you know, cars nowadays are designed to be thrown away. That's a throwaway design. This thing isn't meant to be fixed. It's meant to be thrown away and replaced it with another one. I don't like that. That's not very sustainable. Who's being environmentally friendly now? Fools. That was a joke. It's important to joke on a day like this about things that are not topical. So if you play with it too much, it'll fall off. Do it correctly first time, then a Band-Aid fix on a critical part. You don't want to be halfway across the country and then go start up the truck and the gear doesn't contact anymore. Yeah. Well, I can just hotwire it then. We can just go back to hotwiring the stupid thing. So that's where I'm at. Guys, the reason why I'm even talking to you about truck parts is because we're waiting for the NASA interview. The NASA Artemis 1 update should be in about, 30 minutes, give or take. So yeah, we could, I could rebuild this. I gotta go find a bushing kit. But, yeah, it's totally doable. Yeah, we gotta get the bushing kit for the steering axle. Because look, yeah, that bushing is totally shot. Like, and I mean totally shot. Look at it, it's cracked. That's not supposed to be sectioned like that. It's supposed to be pressed on. And I'm pretty dang sure that that's not even supposed to be concave. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a flat journal. I don't think it's supposed to be bowed out. See how it's bowed out on the end? Right here? I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to be like that. Should get the plastic part cast or machined. Why? The reason why that... Okay, so another thing. The reason why that plastic part failed is because Hoonigan didn't have the keys to these Ford trucks. And over time... Well, it's not that they didn't have the keys. Over time, the ignition barrel on here, this piece, it wears out because it's an ignition barrel. And then you could just stick a screwdriver in here and turn it and start the thing. Now, it looks like they didn't have the ignition barrel, and Hoonigan was sticking the screwdriver in here to turn the gear without the ignition barrel. And I'm pretty sure when they did that, they chipped off some of the teeth on that part. Pretty damn sure. Once again, they don't. What did they care? It was their game show truck, so who cares, right? Yes, yeah, look at that, man. I pulled this steering wheel out of a plow truck. Yeah, that plow truck was beaten up. It was beaten up. I have a picture of it. It was rough. You know what? It could have been fixed. It's fixable, but I'm pretty sure the steering column being broken is what did that truck in. That's the reason why it's in the junkyard. I do have a picture of it, though. Here, I'll show you. I'm going to go boomer tier again and just show you a picture of my phone. Here. Here it is. It's not in bad condition, and I don't even know if it's still in the junkyard. I haven't been down to the junkyard since November. It's not bad necessarily. It has a lot of good parts on it. Kind of want to just drag the whole thing out of the junkyard and use the whole dang thing for parts, but was that the one in Woonsocket? Yeah, Jim. You have a place to store it? You go grab that truck for me. That'd be great. Yep, that is a truck. So yeah, this is the column that I pulled out of that truck. And that's an XLT, so it has a bunch of cool parts on it, like four-wheel drive parts. Sorry, I don't. Damn it. Can you shake it a bit more? All right. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go into Discord, and I'm gonna put the picture of the stupid truck in ModCord. There we go. And then I'll take the picture of the truck, copy the link, we will place it over here, and here you go. There you go. I probably could have done that. Like I said, thing's a little bit rough, but it wasn't bad either. I pulled that mirror off of it too. But it's got some sweet Krager 8-lug rims, right? And it's got these sweet running boards. The running boards were welded or I would have taken them. And it's four-wheel drive. Kind of just want to pull the whole freaking thing, but I don't have any space. My picture of a stupid truck. Why not a picture of a truck that you like? Yeah, that's a good point. I like all trucks. This is a nice truck. It's a 250 XLT. I took the grill for what it's worth and the headlight bezels. That was all me. I scrounged this thing for parts. My dad's truck doesn't like to shift from third to second. You practically have to stop. And he also said sometimes it doesn't like to shift from third to fourth. What might it be? A weak slave cylinder? Check the fluid on the slave cylinder, Grav. Or you have a leak. The clutch hydraulics on these things are a little temperamental, and that's speaking from experience. But, so what I did was, you can bleed it. You can bleed the clutch, the slave cylinder. There's a bleeder valve in the bell housing of the transmission. So like you have your hydraulic in, and then you have bleeder out. There's 2 holes. I tried bleeding it. That didn't really work. So I literally took the nuclear option and took a vacuum, a Mighty Vac, and stuck it down the into the slave cylinder reservoir and started pulling. I put it on vacuum and I sucked all the air out of the system, and it's worked great since. Replace what you could. Yeah, Jaka, I think we should do that. I kind of want to rebuild this tilter column, dude, because this tilter column is nice. That truck wasn't, like I said, that truck wasn't in the worst condition, guys. This was, like I said, this thing was a plow truck. It was a freaking plow truck. I mean, it's rusty. The bumper is rusted through, and the quarters are shot, but the doors were still good, and the bed is still good, which is kind of crazy. And I know, I literally went down, I dived into this tetanus fun right here of sharp and rusty metal. I dived underneath it and checked the frame. The frame's fine. Yeah, we could just, dude, I was like thinking, pull this whole freaking thing, get rid of all the rusty stuff, right? And put Tough Enough on this chassis that has 4-wheel drive on it. But then again, I would still need a manual transmission. There's 2 types of manual transmissions that Ford made for these trucks. One is the 4x4 version, one is the 4x2 version. Because complications. ZF5-47 4x4. Check this out. It's got a ZF transmission in it, so that's cool. It's got a 5-speed, and see the difference? This one has the flange for the transfer case, so you can make a 4-wheel drive. This one is the transmission that I have, and it has an output shaft because it's 2-wheel drive. Is the blue one 4x4? It is, drummer, but it's got an automatic transmission in it. Now, I went and found the ZF service manual for those transmissions. Dude, it is... I like ZF. I really do. I like ZF a lot. But also, they probably couldn't have made this transmission more complicated if they tried. So, transmissions, guys, have a counter shaft. They have two axles, right? Basically 2 axles. And then there are gears that slide around on the axles, right? And they slide around, and when you shift, there's a lever that actuates forks that move the gears back and forth so you can change the gear ratio. You could, if your input's 1 RPM, you could output 2, right? Or you could output 1 to 1, or you could output 5 RPMs here is 1 RPM out for a gear with torque. You could either reduce or increase the gear ratio by sliding gears around on 2 axles here. In this ZF transmission design, the counter shaft and the main shaft are all parented to this backing plate. The rest of the transmission is just a cover. Everything is bolted. The counter shaft and the main shaft are bolted to the backing plate and not the main transmission. Anybody that knows a little bit about transmissions knows that that's literally the stupidest thing I've ever heard. The 4-wheel drive one also has a link for the front gear. Well, this doesn't have the transfer case on it, Taradra, but see the flange right there? The transfer case would have one of these going this way and another one of those going that way. See what I'm talking about? So, yeah. So if I wanted to convert the transmission that I have to 4-wheel drive, I would need to rebuild the entire transmission. Now, I said, that I was looking at that and I'm like, oh, well, okay, what if I just bought a ZF5? What if we just bought a new one? Like, how much could they be? Really? Like, how much could it be? Like, it can't be that much. Well, Well, let's take a look. ZF5-47. Transmission. Let's see. Sort by highest first. Let's take a look. Okay, there's the transmission that I have. 5.8 ZF5 for $700. Okay. Hmm. 2200, 2100. Long story short, it's about $2,000. Those transmissions with the 4-wheel drive on them are going for about 2 Gs. I'm like, oh, that's... No. Nope. So, yeah, that's... I got that going for me, which is nice. Oh, I'm splashing parts around. You could always short shaft link your current transmission into a remote transfer case and link both axles to that. It would require 3 custom-made drive shafts, though, to do it. Well, let's look at the transfer case, Jacka. I mean, we could do that. That's possible. Here. Ford OBS transfer case. It's a Borg Warner, I think. Got parts just flying around all over the place. I'm going to make sure I put all the small parts back into my bag here so I don't lose those. The retainer guard, the actuator gear, and the retainer plate. I put them all in the bag, and the reason why I'm showing you is so I can document this on the internet so I don't lose it. And then the key goes into the ignition barrel, and that stays there. All right, cool. Because I'll lose that, but I was already starting to drop parts, you know? Here, let's take a look. Let's see what we can find here. Yeah, let's see. Oh, well, Jacka, take a look. See how it has the flange on it. So flange is just a flat surface where 2 things bolt together, right? That one has an output shaft. This is the thing for the drive shaft. That has the flange, and it has a splined output shaft. You can see it right there. And that splined output shaft is designed to go into the transfer case input shaft right there. And then this thing just bolts to the back of the 4x4 transmission. It's doable. I helped my brother do that on his mud truck, but we did it for a different reason. He wanted a sturdier transfer case that could link directly to the transmission. So these Borg Warners probably aren't going to do it. 92 to 97 F250 transfer case. All right, give me 1 second. Let me check that. That's $390. Let's take a look. Yep. And that has a slip yoke. It has a splined input right there. See the ridges? So you got a spline input right there. That's coming out from the output shaft of the transmission. And then you got a splined output shaft again that goes to a slip yoke for the rear axle right there. See that? Oh, my head's behind it. That goes to the rear axle. And then you should have a U-joint out to the front there. Yep. See it right here? Yeah. There are truck transfer cases that have U-joints in them. Just have a bit. They're just a bit harder to find. Yeah, but how am I going to mount it? What am I going to mount it to? We're going to have to go make a new cross member for the transfer case. That, I don't know, man. That seems like a lot of work. And what I'm talking about here is making the thing 4-wheel drive, which I kind of want to do, which would be that would be fun to do on stream, you know. Frame rails. Yeah, which are on the sides, Tessa. There's a transfer case, and the frame rails are here. The transfer case is in the center. How are you going to... I'd have to make something. I mean, but also, yeah. Would you have lockers? Drummer, that truck did come with an option for locking hubs. You can see it on the junk truck right there. Actually, you know what? I'm not 100% sure if that's a locker. There should be a switch. It should be a manual locker, but yeah. Would 4x4 be permanent on those, or is there a switch? I don't know how it is in English, dude. It's 4x4 implies that you can switch it. You can go 4x2, 4x4, 4 low, 4 high, 2 low, 2 high, right? All-wheel drive is what we would say is what I would tell you, like if you stepped on the gas and all 4 wheels turned all the time. Basically, that transfer case has the selector lever in it. What year is your truck? It's a 96 TRP. So, Jaka, I noticed something, all right? I noticed something about this truck. If we take a look, that looks like a front locker because you could see the actuator switch. Now, here's the thing. I'm very familiar with the back left tires on these trucks. I had a bad experience once. There's no locker out back, which is weird. I don't think that's if I'm remembering right, it had the same rear end that my truck had. It had 410s in the, no, it could have been 355s or something. So, will you do more driving streams when it's fixed? DV, the reason why I'm working on this truck so much off stream is so I can drive it to rocket launches. That's the reason why I'm working on Tough Enough so much, and the reason why I haven't been streaming it, because I can get a lot more done when I'm not streaming it. And then I can just update you guys with what's going on. I had a bad experience. Damn it, I'm deaf. I mean, Jaka, I'll be honest with you. I was debating going and stealing the twin I-beam, the Dana 50 TTB that's under this, twin traction bars. I was debating just bringing my floor jack out to the junkyard and just undoing all of this and taking the whole front of it. Yeah, I was really debating doing that. So these trucks have a very, very weird front suspension. You guys will actually like this. It's a cool physics thing. So it's called twin I-beam suspension. Twin I-beams are here. I'll just show you a picture and you guys tell me what you see if you're not familiar with these things. Seems like you can replace it. Let me see. Yeah, DNF. Yeah, I have that part right here. It's literally right there. This part's in good condition. I'm just figuring out how to get the freaking thing out. How do you get this out? I'm really confused how you get this part out of here. You see that the steel dowel on the end? How do you get that open? Like, how do you get it off? I don't want to break it because it's plastic. But here, check that out. Look at the suspension on these trucks. They're twin traction bars. Or a twin I-beam because you have, see the suspension looks like, the control arms look like I-beams. Now, if you know why the suspension is that way, you could tell because of the way it is, then don't say anything. If you've never seen twin I-beam suspension before, you guys tell me why it is the way that it is. Oh, it's super easy to work on, Steve. These trucks are a breeze. And Tough Enough's from California. Remember, it's a California truck. It does not fight you. You could take parts right off. Nothing fights you. There's no rust anywhere. I think it comes out the other end. Have your dentist work like a proctologist. That's terrible. Funny, but terrible. Hey, chat, where's the NASA thing? Postponed. It's postponed. It'll be in about 20 minutes, dude. That's why I'm just taking some time to talk about the truck. Because the fifth wheel loads. No, TRP, that's a good idea, though. So check this out. This twin I-beam suspension is much more heavy duty. Why? Well, you guys know, everyone here is familiar with leverage, right? If you give me a lever long enough, you can move the world, right? You can move the world with a lever long enough. Suspension is the same way, all right? If you have a spring that's on the end of a lever, all right, usually, see the frame rail right there? Usually a control arm attaches to the bottom of the frame rail. So you get a control arm that's maybe this long between the center pivot point of the control arm and the point where it attaches to the knuckle, right? And then you have a ball joint right there. See that? So Ford came up with this idea of attaching the left wheel to the right frame rail and the right wheel to the left frame rail. That gives you longer suspension travel. When you have longer suspension travel, you can make a much more heavy-duty suspension. Your truck can carry heavier loads. It's great for plowing. Great for plowing. That dude, like a lot of the plow trucks around here a lot of people still use those trucks. Trucks that are like 20, 30 years old because of that twin I-beam suspension. Because it can handle having a big freaking plow on the front. And the thing won't nose itself into the ground. Those trucks are super good for that. Which is kind of why I want it. Because, you know, they made a bunch of parts for it too. He said some things about the Russian Space Agency. Step 28, 29, but I can't understand it. Alright, I'll check it, DNF. Looking at that pic, I can see a spot where you can mount a remote transfer case. Let me see that picture one more time. Yeah, I mean, Jocko, I'm not going to say that can't be done. I would prefer the factory option. And, dude, you know what, man? I'll rebuild the transmission on stream. I don't know what I'm doing, and that's not a good thing. You generally shouldn't do that, but I think we could get it done correctly with chat looking over my shoulder. It would take a while, but we could get it done. NASA is firing an RS-25 right now. You sure? I didn't hear... Space Trade, I didn't really hear any news about that. Yeah, Taco, dude. All right. Taco, here's the thing, man. I'm only going to say this once, all right? What do we keep saying about anything that has to do with Rule 8, anything that has to do with social media, anything that has to do with anything? Don't freak out. Everybody takes things from 0 to freaking 11, okay? When the reality of the situation is that you need time to process this stuff, okay? How you feel about what's going on in the world today is going to be different tomorrow. Hopefully better. It takes time to process stuff. I have a question. And here's what I mean by this. Listen, okay? Here's what I mean. Pause the truck conversation for just 1 second. Can you tell me what happened in 1969? Can you tell me some modern day events or modern events that happened in 1969? I can think of one off the top of my head that's pretty damn cool. Woodstock. Right? My link is the RS-25 test. Cool. So is independent suspension good for off-roading? Like proper rock crawling? Drummer, you got me hooked on Matt's rebuilding channel. Yes, look at the articulation on the suspension. If the suspension can move more, you can get over a bigger bump. That's why the twin I-beam is cool. Moon landings. That was pretty cool. Moon landings. No. Woodstock. Tell me a current event from 2019. I'll wait. High gas prices, we didn't have those in 2019. In 2019, guys, not COVID. 2020, you can. The Olympic qualifiers, okay? So you're equating Olympic qualifiers to the moon landing in Woodstock, okay? All right. You see what I'm talking about? It takes time for these events, and it takes time for history to take focus. That's the point that I'm trying to make. I skipped 2019. See what I mean? It takes time for stuff to focus. That's why I don't want to talk about anything that's going on today. History takes time. It takes time to understand perspective, and it takes time to kind of look at it. You need it. Basically, let's wait a couple of days before I even think about what's going on with the space program. Okie dokie? Can we watch it, please? It's live. Can we watch it, please? It's live right now. Nope. I don't want to. I don't want to because you guys keep asking. Is in the static statifier, why is it all white? It's gaseous oxygen. SpaceX DM1 was in March 2019. Yeah, but Talon, you see how long it took you guys to see how long it took to like recall that? Like, people started recalling pretty damn trivial events compared to, like, a moon landing or Woodstock or something. You know what I mean? There are events that are a lot more prevalent in history that take time. History takes time to come into focus. It takes time to understand what's going on. So, guys, what I'm not going to do, and this is the reason why I don't want to talk about this stuff today. I don't want to talk about it, frankly, ever. Not for a while, at least. Because, dude, I don't like going from 0 to 11. That's annoying. That's what people on Twitter do. That's what people on social media do. That's what the news does. Hell no. No way, dude. Nope, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be part of that stupid game. It's just a stupid cycle, and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. With that being said, back to truck stuff, okay? Or we could watch the static fire test. So, well, yeah, midget. I mean, that's a little bit, yeah, obviously. Yeah, zeros. That's a good point. But see how it took it. Okay, my point is that I said pick events in 1969, and instantly people knew. The fact that it took this long, like, you know, I get it not wanting to break Rule 8, and I do appreciate that. You see how it kind of, people were like, okay, what happened in 2019? But I said, what happened in 1969? A, I got a lot of nice in chat. And then B, oh, Woodstock. Oh, the moon landing. Vietnam. Like, people were able to come up with stuff, like, right off the bat. History takes time to focus, dudes. It takes time. The implications here are what's going on. When it comes to the space program, I ain't talking about what's going on the ground. Hell no. The implications of the space program won't be clear, I'd say at the very, very least, for a week. You gotta figure out what the frick's going on, dude. I couldn't do the same for 1961. I mean, the Bay of Pigs. Well, that was 1962. Yeah, that's a good point. But, John, I understand. But, see, you understand that you saying that, no, history doesn't take a second to focus means that it means that I should be talking about current events right now? I don't want to do that. You understand how you trying to be technically right in this context is really, really putting me in a crappy spot, right? You're right, but also acknowledge that you by being technically correct, you're forcing my hand to talk about Rule 8 stuff on stream on a day when a country is being invaded by another country. You understand that, right? You understand the precedent you're setting there by doing that, right? No, just pointing out that you picked it easy year. Yeah, sorry. So, like, that's the point that I'm trying to get at, dude. History takes some time to focus. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to nicely put it to you that I don't want to freaking talk about it, man. Like, I didn't want to be candid about it, but yeah, I don't, dude. Nope. No. Here, steering column part. Look at it. Who the frick designed this? Like, seriously, what is this? Like, I'm almost impressed, dude. I'm almost impressed because, like, like, somebody had to make a casting for this, right? Somebody had to make a casting for this part. Look at this. This looks like something that you'd find on like a Covenant battleship or something. You're missing the static fire. That's nice, right? Somebody had to make a casting for this. I mean, this was definitely designed on a computer. Nobody draws up blueprints for a part that looks like that. Am I right? This was designed on a computer, there's no doubt. But also, it's pretty impressive, man, that somebody could make a casting out of this and, like, for such a complicated piece. And this was like computer designing casting stuff 30 years ago. I don't even want to know where they're at now. They could probably do something way better than this, that's for sure. What I find awesome is how steam engines were built. All casting. Yeah, right. Can we talk about why the new F1 cars bounce around? I'm going to go ahead and guess that they didn't get the damper rates right on the rear suspension. You'd be surprised. When I took drafting in high school, we had to do some crazy intricate drawings by hand. Yeah, true that. I'm pretty sure this one was designed on a computer, though. I mean, see this recessed edge right here? John, I'm fairly confident this was CAD. Somebody made this in SolidWorks or something. Cool part, though. That's a piece to the steering column, dudes. I cannot tell what part it is. Oh, yeah. Here. You guys want to see the static fire, so let me go see what's going on with the static fire. Oh. I don't have any sound. There it goes. I mean, and that's just one part. Cars have thousands of parts like that, dude. That's what makes that so cool to me. It's very interesting. It was on a truck in the mid-90s. It was probably something that was used on several model years prior. It could have been designed on a drafting table in the 70s. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, Jim. That's kind of the reason why I like the OBS truck. Because it's a 70s design that they just updated and updated and updated over time. Think of the 96 like... Think of the 96 as basically like a 1980 Ford F-250 Block 5. That's literally what it is. Over the course of a car's production, when they get towards the end, they upgrade it. They keep upgrading it. The automakers will always update it. They'll upgrade it and they'll add new parts. They'll make things cooler, like they'll give it more horsepower or something, or they'll tweak the suspension. They'll always add stuff to it. And then when that design reaches its like theoretically like maximum it reaches its like theoretical maximum potential, then they'll build a new truck. The 96 is the theoretical maximum potential for that body style, for the 1980 bodies, the body style that rolled out in 1980, which is cool. Everything looks good here, guys. I'm watching the rocket while I'm talking, and everything looks real nice. It's throttling down right now, so they're gonna throttle it up again. Where's the timer? What engine are they testing? That's an RS-25E. And with that being said, fellas, I'm going to switch us back over. I'm going to switch the title back over to NASA Artemis 1. The timer disappeared. This should be about a 500-second burn, Flykin, if the test from the other day was right. What's the smaller cloud? What do you think? Well, this cloud right here is because they're spraying water into that flame bucket. Right? The engine is literally shooting into a waterfall. That's why that flame bucket looks so ridiculous, because they're shooting it into a waterfall. That's to basically quench the exhaust. See the sprayers up there? They shoot it into a pad deluge system. The reason why is because most things that are below a rocket engine aren't after the rocket engine fires. Yeah, they cease to exist. So, test stand... Ah, that was my knee. Test stands actually require a very, very beefed up pad. That's why these test stands are these giant, like, monoliths of... giant, like, monolithic structures. Because it's literally designed to hold that rocket engine in place on the pad. This thing has to be more heavy duty than a regular launch pad. Well, why? Well, a regular launch pad has flames in the flame trench in it for maybe 5 to 10 seconds. This thing has it for 500 seconds. So the test stand basically, with the test stand you have to beef it up because, like I said, yep, 366 on the timer, top right. You have to beef it up because a rocket engine's firing into it. You can make it out of metal, that's fine, but you'll literally have no metal down there when you're done if you don't spray water onto that metal to keep it cool. That's why the engine sprays into a waterfall. It's to keep the flame bucket cool and to make sure that this thing doesn't cause an earthquake because rocket engines are that freaking loud. Which is really cool. I think the test stands are some of the most underrated pieces of architecture in rocket science. I love these things. Look at that thing. It's like an oil rig that's bolted to a concrete foundation. It's really cool. So another cool thing is, see the two tanks up there? There's your hydrogen tank on the right. There's your LOX tank on the left. And that other line is an O2 purge line. It wouldn't be hydrogen, guys. And the reason why it wouldn't be hydrogen is because you don't vent hydrogen gas into the atmosphere. Why don't you do that? Well, Captain Planet will come and kick you in the nuts if you do. So yeah, don't do that. Would putting insulation on those cold pipes help in any way? O-Force, when the thing's on SLS, it has a thermal blanket. But some parts you just can't attach insulation to. The reason why you can't attach insulation to it is because it'll just the thing gets so cold it'll just freeze it off. So what they likely do is adjust the tank, the wall, the pipe wall on that flow pipe. That's either the oxygen pipe that's between the low pressure and high pressure turbo pumps for oxygen or hydrogen. Oh, they throttled her back up. And now, as we get close to 500 seconds here, you'll see them throttle the engine back down to 60% in preparation for staging. This is basically mimicking an RS-25's ascent profile. Hydrogen is bad for the environment. It's not that it's bad for the environment. It's just that hydrogen gas really likes to find things that make it explode really well. The Hindenburg is a pretty good case study into that. Oh, there we go. We got flame out. Do you think they could survive the sound vibration? Could someone stand on those catwalks? No. All right. Yeah, see the waterfall that they spray into there? Cool. So this looks like the A2 test stand. This is basically what they're testing upgraded SLS engines. Yep, 500 seconds on the burn. Everything was real good. I didn't see anything weird. Did you guys? Everything looked fine there. Do you know why? Do I know why what? The heat for one, and also the sound. The sound from the rocket engine would be like taking an egg beater and putting it in your stomach and then turning it on. Yeah, the sound is enough, dude. At close range like that, it'd kill you. It would kill you. It would just shake you to pieces. Kind of like this here. It's not the rocket engine constantly firing. It's the overpressure. I kind of don't really want to show a fuel air bomb exploding, but thermobaric weapons is what they're called. The rocket engine will do that when it turns on. That's what'll get you. Yeah, that's what'll get you. The overpressure event. It would not be good. So there actually is the Beyond the Press channel here. These guys stream on Twitch. They're really cool. Shameless shout out for them. Okay. So they're testing thermobaric stuff. So basically what thermobaric weapons do is they have two explosions. One is a pressure explosion. So it's basically a fuel tank, right? And a fuel tank has like a can of compressed air inside of it, right? And on the end of the can of compressed air, there's a spark plug, okay? Or an igniter or some source of ignition. When it hits something, the compressed air tank explodes and it shoots fuel everywhere. It shoots fuel all over the place, and then that little igniter ignites, and watch what happens. It creates an overpressure event, hence thermobaric. Baric, pressure. Heat pressure. Watch. It does that. Yeah, if you were near the engine, Flykin, when it turned on, that's what happens. That's how violent an overpressure event can be. It just literally ripped those houses to shreds. Watch it again. And once again, this is from the Beyond the Press channel. This is a Finnish YouTube channel that I really, really enjoy, where they do cool stuff like this. See what I'm talking about? Now, the interesting thing here, guys, is that an unregulated fission reaction, basically unregulated neutron flux, creates so much heat that it shifts the pressure. But a thermobaric weapon shifts pressure by heating a bunch of fuel up at the right mixture real quick. So if you're looking at this and you're like, wow, that kind of looks like a nuke, it's the same idea. A nuke just uses a different way to generate heat. But you see all the fuel? See the fuel? Look at, boom! Look at the pressure. Okay, so look in slow motion. You can see the pressure wave. You can actually see it. It distorts the air around it. You should be able to see it right. See look. See how the light gets distorted? That's how fast that pressure wave goes. Watch the painted windows on the building. The pressure wave is so intense and so ridiculously hot, the camera can see the hot air diffusing and bending light. Look at that. See how everything gets warped for a second? It's because the air is hot. The update is live. But yeah, that's why you don't stand near rocket engines, because they do that when they fire. Don't be near it. That's a train, son. Don't stand in front of them. I guess I'll have to take a mulligan on this one. All right, anyway.